Welcome to MTN Outdoors.
Hi there, I'm John Riley and I'll be your guide for this episode. Until recently, we haven't had a ton of snow to shovel this winter. And it's not just us who haven't had to deal with a lot of snow, it's also the bison in Yellowstone National Park. MTN's John Shear reports that lack of snow has had bigger impacts on the herd.
All you have to do is compare pictures. A year ago, you saw this in the Gardner Basin. Now, no bison at all.
A total difference.
A year ago, here in the Gardner Basin, more than 1,000 bison were gathered. They were driven out of higher elevations in the park by deep snow that made it nearly impossible for them to find the food they depend upon. Now, well, these plains are empty. All that's here right now is a few elk gathered on a far hillside. From Roosevelt Junction to here, near Slough Creek, is where you'll find herds of bison gathered right now. The low snows making it much easier for them to gather food. A good 30 road miles from the Gardner Basin.
Hunters in the Gardner area really have not had much opportunity just because of this light, mild winter that we've had, which has not triggered any significant migration outside of the park.
A total of 85 bison may be harvested by state hunters. 40 in the Gardner area and 40 near West Yellowstone, plus 5 in the Gardner backcountry. So far this season, just 15 bison have been taken in a season that ends February 15th. Last year, tribal hunters took more than 1,200 bison, many right across the street from Bonnie Lynn's vacation rental home.
When we had last year over 1,200 gut piles in front of our driveway.
Lynn, a longtime opponent of the bison hunt, says it hurts her winter rental business.
I had a woman that I had stay at my cabin that worked in the park, and she said, "I'm out of here." She was so upset. So I can't have guests there.
She says other renters had similar experiences.
I can't have people pay money to get on a plane, to come here, to pay rent, to see this, and their children. No.
While this season's weather means the tribal harvest, which is not really underway yet, will be much smaller, it could grow a lot again next year. It's all dependent on the weather. In Yellowstone National Park, John Shearer, MTN News.
122 elk captured by Montana Fish, Wildlife and Parks in the Highland Mountains south of Butte have tested negative for brucellosis. The capture operations in the Highland Mountains were conducted in late January. 30 elk were outfitted with GPS collars that will be active for 1 year to help wildlife managers better understand their seasonal ranges, migration routes, and potential mixing with other elk herds. Brucellosis is a bacterial disease that can infect humans, cattle, bison, and elk, and can result in abortion or the birth of weak calves. The disease is primarily transmitted through contact with infected birth tissue and fluids.
The wolf debate dates back decades, but a new study recently published by the University of Montana explains Montanans are growing increasingly accepting of wolves. How many think that's true?
I think they should stay where they originally came from.
It's a hot topic in Montana.
They go after the most vulnerable, which is usually the young calves and yearlings.
Surrounding wolves and whether or not they should coexist in the Treasure State.
I am totally anti-wolf.
Back in 1926, wolves were successfully eradicated in Yellowstone National Park, following claims from farmers and ranchers of the animals killing off livestock.
It's very heartbreaking for one thing, because you raise these animals and you try your best to keep them, house them, and everything in the best way possible.
But Jeff Ewalt, the executive director of Zoo Montana, said the decision to kill off the wolves proved to be wrong.
You have to have a top predator in an ecosystem, and wolves play that role. If you take that top predator out, the entire ecosystem is going to collapse.
Baker rancher Molly Lozine has had her fair share of wolf encounters.
We've seen them around here. They are not like coyotes. Well, coyotes will run away from you, but wolves will stare you down. And it's quite frightening.
The wolves, they did have their place, but I think they've done their job and they're starting to overdo their job.
Jerome Vandersloot is an avid hunter. He says the impact from wolves is obvious. Over the past 7 years, he's only been able to harvest 1 elk.
Over the years of hunting, I've noticed a very, very drastic decline in elk and deer populations. I spoke to an old guy earlier this last hunting season that he's hunted an area south of Big Timber and he hasn't seen elk there in 20 years. I guess they used to be plentiful before that.
The University of Montana says those concerns are in the minority. According to a new survey, in 2023, 74% of the general population said they were tolerant of wolves, up from 50% in 2017 and 41% in 2012, claiming Montanans are growing more accepting of the animal. But a decision last week to deny adding Northern Rockies wolves back onto the endangered species list flies in the face of that survey. A 2022 study by Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks states there were only 1,087 wolves in the state. Ewalt says it's time to put the animals first.
These animals need some love, and the more that we can get them, the better for the species.
One thing's for sure, the debate over wolves will continue, most likely for generations to come. In Billings, Kelsey Boggs, MTN News.
Dogs are descendants of gray wolves and are genetically speaking 99.9% similar. Because of that, they share similar instincts, such as their prey chase drive, even if the dog breed doesn't quite physically match its wolf ancestors.
Well, this is Max English. He's a 5.5-year-old Lhasa Apso, and he looks just like a little bundle of joy. He's so fluffy, he's so cute, but he's also one of the best competitors in the entire nation. Max is the fastest Lhasa Apso in the country, and that's not hyperbole. At the 2023 American Kennel Club Invitational in Orlando, he finished first in his breed for coursing ability testing.
His biggest one is Fast Cat. That's where he runs a 100-yard dash. They get timed in seconds. It gets converted over into miles per hour, and then they get points. Then it's multiplied and they get points.
But it gets better. By one metric, Max is the fastest dog in the country, period.
On the final run, they take all the dogs and they say, how much of a percentage above that normal breed would run? Max ran 53% above what a normal Lhasa would run. So Max is got number 1 out of 430 dogs that were invited to the Invitational.
For his efforts, Max won the Speed of Breeds division and took home a giant ribbon to add to his growing collection.
I'm going to need another basement for all the ones he keeps getting.
You see, speed is just one of Max's incredible talents. He's an expert in scent work.
Okay, search. Good boy.
He's earned the title of Elite Trick Performer through the AKC.
Okay, go through. Stand, stay, hold it. Come. Thumbs up. Say your prayers. Good boy.
But most importantly to Debbie, he's a wonderful companion who serves as a therapy dog when he's not training and competing.
And we go to the lodge, Ivy, up to Fort Benton, the hospital, West Campus, the rehab unit. Get the biggest smiles out of everybody when they, see the dogs.
But even with all that Max does, he still finds time to be a dog.
He is goofy, he's lovable, he's a stinker, loves to shred things, but he's the best.
And Max and his owner bring out the best in each other.
So much because it keeps me busy and it keeps me active and keeps me going. I've always wanted a dog who I could train and do things with. And he loves doing it, so we're going to keep doing it until he, till he can't anymore.
Tom Wiley.
Hup, say bye-bye. Bye.
MTN Sports.
Coming up after the break, we learn about river safety, but first, it's time for some trivia. What is the longest undammed river in the continental United States? Here's a hint. It's located right here in Montana. That answer coming up after the break.
We now return to MTN Outdoors.
Welcome back. So do you know what is the longest undammed river in the continental United States? Flowing 671 miles from its source to the Missouri River, the Yellowstone River holds the title of longest free-flowing river in the lower 48. With temperatures warming, a lot of people are looking already to get back out there on the river. But this time of year, those trips can take a little bit more planning. MTN's Chet Lehman has tips and tricks to stay safe out on the water.
Record cold followed by unseasonably warm temperatures and then heavy wet snow. This winter has been challenging for all of us. That means many are going to want to be getting out and hitting the rivers as soon as they can. Now, a visit to the river this time of year can be an excellent time or a terrifying experience. If you're planning to visit the rivers in February, a little forethought can go a long way. Let's start with an easy one.
It's never a good idea to walk on shelf ice. It's just too unstable, too unpredictable, too uneven with how thick it is, and so stay up on the bank and avoid walking in places that were once ice jams before.
The reality is a quick dip in these waters this time of year can be deadly. At ice jams and other hazards in the water, your chance to survive a slip into the water goes way down.
The water temperatures are very cold. Hypothermia can set in very quickly. So keep these factors in mind and be prepared to rescue someone out of the water with either a throw rope or a flotation device if you need to.
Jacobson also notes that rivers are dynamic. They change over time and over seasons. What was once a great fishing spot could now be a dangerous chance to literally get in over your head in a hurry.
That rivers create new hazards through the river behavior itself, and so just because things looked a certain way last season does not mean that those same characteristics are going to be there the following year. There may be new hazards or unseen hazards there.
Jacobson says it's also important to note that this time of year river levels can change as well. He says ice dams can break up, melting can begin, and that'll add to the flows. He says awareness of what's happening upstream can go a long way from making your trip onto the river turning into an emergency situation. On the Missouri River, Chet Lehman, MTN News.
Right behind me here at St. Peter's Health, agencies and departments from around Lewis and Clark County are gathered to participate in a floodplain tabletop exercise. Annually, emergency crews and various departments gather to run through flood scenarios in the Helena area, East Helena, the Helena Valley, and Augusta. This is the perfect time to practice these scenarios, says Warby McNamee, Lewis and Clark County Floodplain Manager.
It allows us to get into that mind frame of response and recovery. Once we get into the doldrums of the winter, people start forgetting about the impacts in the early part of the spring and even into the early summer.
This exercise helps remind crews of their duties in these emergency situations, as well as establish connections with other departments ahead of a possible flood. Additionally, recovery agencies and departments discuss short and long-term disaster recovery. With so many possible variables and consequences due to flooding, it's these folks' job to be on the lookout for potential problems. For example, Jennifer McBroom, supervisor for the Water Quality Protection District for Lewis and Clark County, works to keep landowners safe from well water contamination.
If you at all think that your well has been flooded, do not drink your water until you have it tested. Have an alternate source.
Kyle Sturgill-Simon, emergency manager for Lewis and Clark County, encourages county residents to sign up for the emergency notification system Smart 911, which gives participants emergency alerts.
While we're training here to better respond to disasters, what can really help us is when citizens are signed up for this system so that we can notify them of what we need and what we're going to be doing during a disaster, and they'll be in the better know for it.
Reporting in Helena, Tom Buchanan, MTN News.
This past fall, students at C.R. Anderson Middle School worked with the Forest Service and Wild Montana on an application to get the Man Gulch Overlook Trail on the National Recreation Trail Registry. On Tuesday night, they presented the work they had done here at the Lewis and Clark Library.
I just think that this is a really cool project and I love being a part of it.
Since the beginning of the school year, 15 8th grade students have been meeting twice a week during lunch. They also met with the Forest Service and Wild Montana numerous times about the application. The students are a part of the Man Gulch Club at C.R. Anderson, working to get the trail on the National Registry. According to the National Park Service, the registry helps highlight and promote some of the country's highest caliber trails and recognizes the value of trails to communities. There are almost 1,300 national recreation trails across the United States and Puerto Rico. The last time Montana had a trail placed on the registry was River's Edge Trail in 2018. The Man Gulch project is something 8th grade teacher Shannon Thomas has worked on for the past 30 years.
To be able to look back on a tragic event, but also one that gave a legacy of safety behaviors for all the rest of the firefighters.
This year marks the 75th anniversary of the Man Gulch fire, which burned 5,000 acres near Gates of the Mountain and killed 13 firefighters. The club was able to visit Man Gulch thanks to a trip sponsored by the Gates of the Mountain Foundation. At the end of their presentation at the library, the club learned the Man Gulch Trail was approved as a national recreation trail.
I almost cried watching their reaction because it was so exciting because they've worked so hard on this.
I was amazed. I was like, I didn't think we were supposed to get the news until June. This is amazing. It's so great. I helped to get this trail designated nationally, and it's just a really cool feeling to know that you helped with that.
A spokesperson from the Forest Service said they're planning events across 3 days in August to remember those lost in the fire. The events will be announced in April. The club hopes to get together on August 5th to honor the 75th anniversary of the Man Gulch fire. In Helena, Allie Kaiser, MTN News.
Coming up after the break, we learn more about the benefits of sledding, and we have a story on the Cowboy Hall of Fame.
We now return to MTN Outdoors.
Sledding is an easy way to get out and enjoy the outdoors this winter. After all you need is a bit of snow and just a pinch of gravity. But as MTN's Ryan Berg reports, it can also have some mental health benefits.
When you get fresh new snowfall like this in Montana, you don't need to immediately head to the ski mountain and hit the slopes to appreciate it. You could find other winter sports around the community or just in your backyard with some sledding.
Sledding in Montana at Carroll with students. We talked about how that's an opportunity for mindfulness. It's an opportunity to kind of let all your stressors go and just experience the moment.
For Julia Nolan, however, an associate professor of psychology at Carroll College, sledding is an opportunity to get his class out and about and using it as an example of adventure therapy.
This kind of idea of how can we not only have therapeutic experiences in the office, but then also take advantage of all these outside of the office opportunities to really make the most difference and the most impact throughout daily life is really something that's been exciting to me.
For the lesson on Guad Hill, Nolan challenged his students to group up and make a sled out of different materials. Some worked well, others like cardboard boxes and pool noodles, not so much.
The idea is give these students a challenge, say put together a sled, achieve an objective with limited materials and also different materials between groups of students.
The lesson was also a chance for students to get outside the classroom and enjoy the snow.
We enjoyed, leaning into the winter instead of avoiding the winter as a way to sort of navigate Montana during, kind of prime seasonal affective disorder season.
And Nolan says the lesson is more than just psychology.
It's an opportunity to work through a goofy challenge with a group and to learn the social and relational skills necessary to do that, to also build your support system.
Well, if you ask me, sledding is not a bad reason to get out and about. In Helena, Ryan Berg, MTN News.
24 Cowboys were inducted into the Montana Cowboy Hall of Fame on Saturday.
The Hall of Fame was an idea that came out of a small group that started out just to honor a local rodeo. And then we decided, Will Point Wild Horse Stampede, we decided that there was bigger need for a bigger thing, so we started looking at trying to branch it out, a statewide thing. Our first induction was actually in 2008.
Each year, 24 cowboys and cowgirls are inducted into the Montana Cowboy Hall of Fame. These individuals are recognized for their contributions to Montana's Western way of life, landscape, ranches, and wildlife.
When they called me up and said, hey, you're going to be nominated into the Montana Cowboy Hall of Fame. Chance called me and said, Grandpa, he said, this just made my day. And I was so happy because of my grandson, and this has made my day. Even though I'm 98,
So this is what being a cowboy is all about for us, to pass it on to them. And hopefully they'll ranch, and hopefully their kids will ranch.
Founded in 2003, the nonprofit organization that is the Montana Cowboy Hall of Fame strives to preserve and pass forward the Montana cowboy way of life and to celebrate Montana's Western heritage.
The values of honesty, integrity, loyalty, all those things are things that are really what being a true cowboy is about.
More information about the Montana Cowboy Hall of Fame will be available on our website. In Great Falls, I'm McKenna Holman, MTN News.
It's exciting times here at Zoo Montana as George and Willie, the grizzly cubs who arrived here about 2 months ago, are officially out exploring their new habitat. It's been a bit of a process getting them to this point, but Zoo Director Jeff Ewalt says he's excited for what they'll bring to the zoo.
Let them play, let them be bears, and let them learn their life at Zoo Montana.
That's been the guidance to staff at Zoo Montana the past 2 weeks as new grizzly cubs George and Willie get accustomed to their new home.
So we're excited to have our new bear cubs here, George and Willie, obviously out for everybody to see. And
Zoo Montana Director Jeff Ewalt is among the many that are thrilled with the 2 additions.
We just came out to see the bears. We saw on Facebook that they were out, and so we made a special trip this morning.
The bears were first introduced to their habitat last week after spending almost 2 months in quarantine. Now they'll be out from 10 to 12 Monday through Friday for all Montanans to see.
It was fun, and they're great.
We didn't know they had new bears here, but we were pretty excited to come here anyway, and getting to see the new bears is awesome.
The bears were brought to Zoo Montana from Eureka, where their mother was euthanized after getting too comfortable around people. A sad reality that Ewalt says is all too common.
Every year, unfortunately, there are bears that need homes. You know, we wish that wasn't the case, but unfortunately, human encroachment, obviously bears are going to get themselves into trouble in cabins and campsites and what have you.
But for these cubs, it was perfect timing as Zoo Montana was looking to fill the void left by beloved Bruno, who had recently passed away.
We knew that we wanted to bring some other bears in, really for Ozzy, our other bear. He needed that companionship and that company, and so the timing worked out perfectly that we could bring these 2 in and give them a really good home.
The cubs haven't met Ozzy yet. Ewalt says that'll be a delicate process beginning in the spring, with male grizzlies often being aggressive towards cubs, but he expects it will ultimately be a win-win for both the animals and zoo visitors.
So to have, like you said, essentially 2 little brothers to play with and be around and kind of get him to move a little bit, that's going to do real wonders for him and his health too.
Just to see a bear and not have to worry for my life is a real blessing.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of MTN Outdoors. I'm John Riley. Stay safe out there, and we'll catch you next time.